ladies and gentlemen, to Longbox Chronicles Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, for the third time this month, I'm taking a look at a film from DC Comics, and, well, this one I'm the most apprehensive about out of all of them. It's really saying a lot when I was willing to go into Supergirl and Steel, but this one has me a little iffy, and it's just because I've heard such horrible things about it, and I rightly don't know what to truly think. Tonight's film is very loosely based on a DC Comics property. The movie in question came out in 2004, and it is Catwoman. Now, before anyone says anything, yes, I know, this has almost nothing to do with the comic book character of Catwoman, alright? I know, you don't have to leave comments telling me. I know full well. But if you guys have watched the other episodes this month of Reaction and Review, you should know. I don't care how loyal these movies are to their source material. I care more about whether or not these damn things are actually good as a standalone film. And that's all I'm going to be looking into on this. I want to know if this movie is actually going to be an enjoyable watch. And you know, just based on the things I have heard, I kind of have my doubts. But I also heard horrible things about a lot of other movies I've seen, and I wound up enjoying most of those. So this thing does have hopes. Granted, the hopes are kind of slim, but there is still hope there. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Catwoman. So there's a loud party going on. It's so loud that it wakes her up. She opens her window and almost whispers to ask them to turn it down. On what planet would that have ever worked? I totally understand they are trying to make her look timid, but there's timid and then there's this. Big difference there, man. You know, guys, this is a really boring chase scene. I have had more intensity picking out my socks in the morning. That's really saying a lot, guys. Good God, this is just dull. Okay, we just saw Halle Berry take a little ball of catnip and just start rubbing it on her face. I don't know if that was supposed to be funny. I don't know if that was supposed to be sexy. All I know is it looked kind of stupid.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Wow. Halle Berry is seriously badass, guys. That fucking scene was cool as shit, man. So, apparently, Catwoman has been a being of myth for hundreds of years. And they've all been people who died and were reincarnated by the same cat. Sure. Why not? Sounds really stupid, but guess what? Whoa, and I just saw Michelle Pfeiffer in there. Michelle Pfeiffer, like, in the costume from Batman Returns. That's fucking awesome, dude! Folks, I'm only going to say this once before I get into the fucking review, at which point I'm going to be a lot more vocal about this. Sharon Stone is one of the worst actresses I have ever seen in the history of film. She is the only one in this film who's turning in a performance I would seriously say is shit. But I'll talk about that more when the movie's done. I just wanted to get that off my chest now. So now her big reveal. Well, this really wasn't a, reveal as much as it is that Catwoman and Patience are technically two different personalities inhabiting the same body. I know that they hinted at it a couple of times, but I didn't really want to buy it because that is like the stupidest cop out you can do in any film is, oh, it's just a split personality. No, fuck that. This movie started off good, started off kind of fun, but god damn it, this seriously just feels sort of cheap to me, I guess. Wait a moment. Wait. It took this long in the film for Sharon Stone to find out that Patience Phillips' cat is fucking Catwoman, even though Patience is the only black person, or black woman, I should say, in this entire goddamn film. Your options are really narrow, you know what I mean? Well, folks, that was Catwoman. Let me just shut off the movie here. I'm actually going to leave the disc in. I just want to get right into this. I will say that I was pleasantly surprised. I seriously thought this movie was going to be unwatchably shit. Especially since, and I actually pulled up this prior to starting the review, or rather starting filming period today on Catwoman. I looked up the 2004 Razzies because I knew that Catwoman was actually nominated in a ton of different categories. And now for those of you who don't know, the Razzies are the Razzies are the opposite of the Oscars, where every single year they actually will give out awards for worst actor, worst actress, worst director, worst picture, and Catwoman won, I believe, 3 of them. I'm just going to double check on this. It won for worst picture. So according to them, this thing was worse than Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2, and White Chicks, amongst others. I haven't seen either one of those, but I have a feeling that this is actually better. Why? This was actually watchable. It also won for worst director, worst actress. Unfortunately, it didn't win for worst supporting actress, which is really the one where this thing should have had it nailed, because they had Sharon Stone nominated. Let me start with the acting on this before I completely forget I'm trying to review the movie here and not rattle off shit about the Razzies. Anyway, the acting from almost the entire cast is fantastic. Every single person is turning in a great showing, which is the big reason why Sharon Stone stands out as such a pile of shit in this film. Because, all right, we have everybody. I'm talking about Halle Berry and Benjamin Bratt and Alex Borstein and everybody else turning in awesome showings. And then there's Sharon Stone phoning in one of the most wooden performances I've seen in a major Hollywood film in ages. I mean, okay, yes, I happen to remember that her acting was kind of bad in, fucking Basic Instinct, but it wasn't that bad because I actually sort of found a little bit of joy in watching Basic Instinct. But it seems that in like the 15 to 20 years between then and this, she's lost the will to act, and they just keep dumping her into fucking roles, and she doesn't want to be there. You can almost tell. So this is sort of a plea to Sharon Stone. Please stop acting, or please stop trying, because it's obvious you can't. You don't know the first thing about, acting, and frankly, I think that they could have cast anybody in your role in this movie and they would have done a better job. So, yeah, acting was great, except for Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone needs to go fuck herself. As for the writing, guys, I have always said this. I really love cheesy films. I just love corny stories, and just actually to kind of keep with the tone and the spirit of this movie, I think the best way to sum it up is that the writing for Catwoman is perfectly corny. And me actually trying to roll my fucking R there was equally as corny. But anyway, see, because you really have to understand that you cannot go into this movie expecting a serious, action film or a serious superhero film. And the one thing which I didn't like was, and I mentioned it earlier, is the whole thing about Catwoman being a split personality of sorts. Well, kind of a split personality. it's really kind of like a weird thing where they say that Patience and Catwoman are like two separate beings in the same body, and yet they still seem to be able to actually think and function and inhabit it at the same time. It seems, and what I mean is that they actually will speak for both. It seems so weird, seems so out there, and it's one thing to attempt to shoehorn in that kind of really stupid cop out. It's another thing to do it sort of poorly, and that really is the biggest fault with this film, is the fact that they didn't really do that well, and it just felt kind of shoehorned in. Otherwise, though, the story is just delightfully cheesy. I mean, I seriously just kind of like the fact that just everything was just there for the sake of being goofy, and I have always loved that. Effects. I want to talk about the CG for just a sec, because this has some of the most schizophrenic CG I've ever seen. See, because oftentimes films will have either really good CG or really bad CG. This one kind of falls into the like bad category, and it's just because of how the stuff is done. Because every piece of CG in this film, and there is quite a bit, shockingly, all of it winds up one of two ways. It either happens to look like a PlayStation 2 cutscene, which for those of you who never owned a PlayStation 2, that's not really a good thing. Or it falls face first into the fucking uncanny valley, and it just seems so awkward and creepy that that it just sort of like takes you out a little bit. But that actually is one of the things which makes it kind of charming, is the fact that, okay, we have fantastic acting, we have cheesy writing, we have goofy looking we have really like schizo like CG, and really all of it kind of meshes together, and it forms an almost decent film. And the thing, guys, with me is, and I have said this, I love corny movies, I love cheesy flicks, and you really can't get any cheesier than this without it actually sucking. So really, about the only thing I can say is, if you are a fan of bad movies, if you are one of those people who just absolutely adores the kind of corny, cheesy crap you can possibly find, this thing might be perfect for you. So that all actually would depend on the price, because there's no way in hell I would say that everybody should run out and buy this thing if they find it for like $20. No, fuck that. $10? No. If you can go on Amazon or eBay, or if you happen to have a used fucking DVD shop in your area, and they're selling this thing for, say, let's see, about $5 or less, pick it up. In fact, hell, around here, there are tons of copies of this thing floating around our different used fucking DVD shops. Most of them sell for about anywhere from $3 to $5. So yeah, go out, pick it up, watch it, and you know what? And if it happens to suck, oh well, you're only out like $3 to $5. And if that actually is a bit too much, well, you can probably find it on You can probably find it on Netflix. You can probably like rent it if you actually have like a video store in the area. So, yeah, I mean, I would highly recommend you check it out if you seriously are looking for something a little bit cheesy. However, if you insist on your films being overly serious, then I would strongly recommend you not watch this, because you're not gonna like anything that's here. Now, Catwoman came off of the Amazon wish list, and actually came from a friend of mine, Kari, and you can find her YouTube channel at Kari Okami44. By all means, guys, swing over there and check her out. She really has up some pretty good stuff, and I actually have plugged her a couple of times in the series because she sent in a ton of movies. So yeah, I actually am kind of happy to have this. I seriously went into it expecting it to completely suck, and well, it was actually pretty good, which is kind of stunning to me. Now, the next episode. Oh, God. Next episode is the only animated film I'm covering this month, and, well, I don't know what to really think. And what's really sad is that I was the one who bought the next episode, and, well, I bought it specifically because I was curious, and now I'm looking at it again, and I'm beginning to suffer the feeling of buyer's remorse. But I'm going to cover that in the next episode when that movie's actually going to be relevant. So yes, folks, with that we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.